got a chance to replace 4 city councilmen who are pro-light rail. The mayor has his problems, and the other 3 are weak. They're on the light rail side. I think they can be taken to the woodshed and paddled. And that's what you're dealing with in hardball politics. If you can't put the votes in the column at the right time, you don't have anything to say so. But if you can, everybody listens.
Is April 5th spring break? Is April 5th spring break for school?
It's the week prior.
Okay.
Pete?
I think one thing that we all need to be aware of is also is this is the petition of the people. And it's one of the great rights that we have in the United States of America. If our petition is taken away and they use theirs, we set that precedent that that's okay. And it's not okay.
Oh, well, I agree with you. I mean, we're dealing with the most fundamental point of democracy.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
John, I'm Lawrence Land. You and I've talked many times before on the phone. We talked. One of the things we talked about was the amount of money that the mayor and some of the city council people have received.
Yes.
However, I haven't seen anything in the newspaper, and again, I don't know if you know the numbers or if you can include those numbers in the ad. I sure wish the people would see that that is really the controller for the mayor and city council.
Well, there's a link between the Big Lie campaign and city council. And it's the money that was contributed by a very small group of people to make the Big Lie and to elect certain city councilmen. I think it's the job of the people running against those city councilmen to make that link. Not exactly what you wanted to hear, but again, I'm trying to keep my blinkers on and keep going straight down that road. The information's there. It's in the registrar's office. It's all there. Someone's got to go get it. Then someone's got to say, you know, this is worth letting people know about. And the best place for that is a candidate running against them.
I have a question. How binding is our referendum?
No.
Number one, the word should is in there. It's not binding. So even if we vote no, they can continue to do what they want to do. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's true.
It's true.
But if you vote no and you unelect 3 or 4 councilmen at the same time,
The rest of it.
you just changed the majority on city council.
Candidates.
And the business community has lost a business-friendly council. They can't afford
Developer
that.
friendly.
They can't afford that.
Yeah.
So I'm here to tell you that, you know,
So you run it?
the problem, am I?
You run it for city council?
No. I can't afford it. I'm 75 years old, I'm working for a living, that's because I got several bankers who expect to get something from me every month. It would be terribly upset if they didn't.
John, before you got here, Councilman Moss read a letter from a council member by the name of Rosemary Wilson, clarifying her position now on the, and I don't think you've seen that. And while you're looking that over real quickly, John, the MOU that you got in your Friday packet, is that the latest? Because Ruth Smith, when I asked,
Hold on
I
a
got
second,
the,
I'm trying to do, you're requiring I do 2 things.
oh, no, I'm talking to John
I'm
right now.
not good at any, I'm only good for maybe 1.
On the 9th, Ruth says, as of this moment, the MOU reference light rail is a, quote, work in progress. So what is the date of,
March, the thing, this was March the 12th, right?
okay, then it's, you got the final version, okay, never mind.
If I read this correctly, the resolution is going to be withdrawn. Is that
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
She says it's her intent.
That's her intent. Good for her intent.
That's a definitive.
Is that,
It's amazing, you know, when you've got this big umbrella with 30,000 signatures on it, everybody wants to run under it, get under the house.
not saying that that is the person who visited you yesterday, but it seems peculiar that it would mean that.
Well,
Okay, never mind.
it's clear.
Yeah, okay.
Her statement's clear, that's all. George,
You talked
I
about
actually call him Bud.
Bud, yeah.
I don't-
Please call me Bud,
I call
John.
him Bud. Okay.
I'll have to start calling you Jack, maybe.
Yeah.
You talked about Cleveland Street and you said they want to destroy it. Is that this planning department we have in this area? Who's the they that wants to destroy
City council.
Cleveland? The council itself.
Specifically, the study they've done is that they think light rail will initiate a redevelopment. We don't have a redevelopment authority in Virginia Beach, and the chances of getting one voted through are slim to none. So they have picked this area, they call it the 264 corridor, that starts at Newtown Road, at the railroad track, Newtown Road, and runs through to, call it Independence, on the railroad track. Cleveland Street parallels it on the north side. There are several different properties on the south side. I don't know how many acres are involved, but it is absolutely loaded with a ton of small businesses.
I understand that part, yeah.
Yeah. And the council, by initiating this program, believes that this is the means of redeveloping that into multifunctional or multi-use residential housing. Then they turn around, they put a home for the homeless there. When I was a kid, you really didn't want to be living close to railroad tracks. And they're trying to throw good businesses out of town. It's not good. It just doesn't make sense.
I just didn't know who the they was.
Hey, Bud,
City council.
to add to your point, you'll notice in the upcoming road and the SGA program that came before, guess what? Of all the roads we have in the city that need to be improved or widened, guess what's on the top of their list?
Which stuff?
Of course, because you can't condemn people's property to put up a office building. You can't, but you can condemn them to widen the road, and then they have no residual parcel that's functional, and so then you buy out that piece as well, and then you later try to, so that's not being motivated because they're concerned about giving the businesses better access on Cleveland Street that are already there. That's the little insidious stuff that they do to get what they want, and the ends justify the means. And John's just right. They don't want to see those businesses there because they don't fit the image that the social planners and the people who make the deals and all the private-public partnerships that will take place, and they're in the way.
My question still was, and John said it's the council, but is this planning department that's doing this?
Remember, the city government works for 6 votes. So when you say the city, you're saying 6 or more votes of city council, because you'd have 6 votes, you'd have a different city manager. If you had 6 votes, there'd be different policies. But you got the SGA, socialized planner, big business. You're here, to, like in the Matrix, to be a battery, to be sucked out of all your energy, to feed those people so they can live the high life at your expense. And that's what John's just telling you. It's, in the end, when you say the city, it is 6 votes.
It's also something I believe was initiated or encouraged or directed from what I call the Pembroke Group. Visions is an organization that is a part of it. The Chamber of Commerce is a part of it. I think the memberships are very similar. They've taken a position that they know best, that the city should do what they say because they know best.
Bank.
And look how far they've got.
Pretty far.
Look how far they've got.
Well, can we do?
I don't know what would have happen if I hadn't, I guess, got upset with the budget last May. I mean, we would not probably be, we would not, if the newspaper had printed my letter, we would not be here discussing the subject today, I can tell you. I was just frustrated, I wanted to blow off. And by not printing it, I didn't get a chance.
Well, my thanks to the title.
Attack this from another standpoint as well, and I would be willing to do that. Some short video clips that we can send out all over Facebook, something targeting our millennials and others. John Moss could do something well, just like a little 2-minute thing about, did you know this about light rail, like light rail facts? And post those, and because I can get those, we can reach hundreds of kids on this very subject through Facebook. We can just get something posted to YouTube, and I would be willing to film those.
Well, here's what I think we have. We got to end one campaign, we have to start another. I'm going to have to bring a lot of people, new people, into the new campaign who are motivated with and goals to do one thing: get votes. Raise money and get votes. Social media is one of many medias, but it's only one. We will be using it. We've been using it extensively. But we've got to have an organization and a budget, a primarily designed budget, to use all the media simultaneously. And in a political campaign, you want them to focus and maximize their activity the week before the election. Everything comes together during that week, and that's why you have radio and television so often at that time. We're heading that way. I'm not going to be out of the campaign. I'm going to step back from it. At that point, we'll do what we can to get the votes necessary. Any other questions?
I have a question and a comment. Our city manager now, Mr. Hanson, when he was a vice or assistant city manager, he presented at a town hall meeting that Bobby Dyer and Ross Hammond had in Kempsville, and he monopolized it with 25 minutes of pro-light rail.
I was there.
And Bud was there. And I never made it to John's the same night because it was all staff, and he did a dog and pony show that I thought he worked for, the light rail. And now he's our city manager, so we've got that push. We have that $500,000 that he designated for an office. And you know, we have all of this money that goes to these issues, and then when the police need to have equipment, we have to raise taxes because it's for safety. When teachers have issues and the schools have issues, we have to raise taxes. Nobody is upfront about where the taxes are going for and what the issues are. The last campaign, we had 5 positions that we could have done something with. And unfortunately, we were divided between trying to work on 5 campaigns to unseat 5 people. And that didn't work. You know, we could have taken the Kempsville one, which was a uncontested, not a person that had been there before. So we could have taken that one if all those efforts had been there and been chipping away. My concern is that we will be facing the same thing this time, that we're going to be dividing our efforts between too many campaigns that we're not going to have an impact. And that's what they count on, because they have millions and millions of dollars, $600,000. I'm in charge.
I was making a different comment, wasn't about that.
Mr. Hanson is the hired gun. Nothing more than a hired gun. I can assure you he's an extremely intelligent person. And he can read the numbers as well as you can. Believe me. He understands what the real numbers are. But that's not his job. And he's been hired to run this campaign. I fully expect him to do as his employers told him to do. As likewise, I will be the opponent for his light rail thing. When it comes to the candidates, there are certain profiles of people who make good candidates. One, they grew up in Virginia Beach. Two, they're a product of the public school system. Three, that they probably went off to college, got a degree, came back to Virginia Beach, married, have kids, and are a member of the community. They're probably in a church and they are actively engaged in some other activity. All right. And they by doing that, they've proven that they like Virginia Beach. They've proven they got ties to Virginia Beach. They have a group of the friends that they started off in elementary school, they work right through high school, and then they have some college friends that they're part of. This is not to exclude other people. I'm really saying that it's much easier for this type of person to have friends who will help them run for city council. And again, not to exclude anybody, but if they have friends, lifelong friends, those lifelong friends don't have to question what their motivations are. They'll line up and they'll help them. Just because they help. They're not saying, hey, I moved to here last year, come help me, I'm going to run for city council. It's difficult to get a large group of people to do that, to be successful. Not impossible, it's difficult.
I know you don't want to get involved in the campaign and everything, but, just to go all in is saying, you're going to have this database of like-minded people. Will you share that with us so we can get the candidates access to be able to do that?
I think you'll find that you have adequate support from that database.
Okay.
After all, that's part of the light rail campaign. That would be part of the light rail campaign.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I dispute with you that I think there will be a lot of candidates running against light rail. Many of them funded from outside of state just to divide the vote.
That's possible. I'm not going to, as I say, I've run a lot of campaigns in my years. No. And guess what? And very few of my own.
I just want, if I could interrupt John for a minute. We've had two notaries today that have come. Tanya Lewis, who has to leave, who came out with her children, bless you, and they're doing this as complimentary, because typically, when you have a notary signature,
Those are all done, John, those are for you.
you pay a fee. So we want to thank them this morning, and Tanya and Kitty Warren. Thank you.
And the notaries come up more later.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like there's at least 200 here. Everybody knows RK. He and his wife got 1,000 they haven't turned in yet.
Wonder who else hasn't.
My sister, I was mistaken. My sister told me that she had gotten 800 today, and she worked, it was only 400. But it was still 400. The political side, it depends a great deal on the person who says he's going to run. I've given you what I consider to be a good outline if you're looking for candidates. And that's because they already know a crowd of people. They've already been involved in their church. They've already been through the public school system. They fit very nicely. And other people fit good, but they just fit better. That's all I'm trying to point out. I think you'll have a good group of candidates run. Many of them are afraid to start talking about it now because they think money is the most important thing. It's not. It's not the important part. What's important is the person who has the time to get out and campaign And the campaign, it runs something like this. Hi, I'm John Atkinson. I'm running for city treasurer. Would you vote for me in November?
Yes, I will.